Okay. Okay, in the break, just I was discussing with Usha ma'am. Usha ma'am said that many of you are writing the good answers, right? So ma'am generally will not tell ki students are writing good answer, but if she is satisfied, then only she says ki they are writing the good answers, right? And yes, I want such good feedback, right? The ma'am should not say ki they are not working, they are not writing the good answer. So it is your failure is my failure, right? So if you are not performing well, meaning that is my mistake because I am not teaching well. That's like it indicates, it represents. That's why whenever I say something, you have to follow sincerely, right? Atlas meaning you have to bring the atlas. If I say write the answer, you have to write the answer. And I am telling for you people only, for your for your sake only. So if you will not do the work, you will not clear the exam. That's all, right? So that's why whenever the faculties, it can be Vilas sir or Usha ma'am or someone else. So whenever they give some work, you have to do on that day itself. You should not wait for the next day. You got the point? Okay, come to the point. So now sixth significance. Write down sixth one. And online student also, you please write the answer and send your answer to Usha ma'am, right? You might be having the group or you might be having the Usha ma'am number. You please make the PDF and mention your good name on that answer sheet, right? And mention the topic name and please send the answer to Usha ma'am. So Usha ma'am will evaluate and ma'am will again re-forward you with a good remarks or with a good feedback, right? Ultimately, so if you will understand your mistakes in the beginning itself, then definitely you will perform well in the future. And if you wait for the last moment or if you wait for the last minute, so there are many students, they will not practice the answer writing before the mains. The first mains itself, their first practice. Second mains, second practice. It shouldn't be not the way to prepare the exam. So here you have to practice before the mains, and that's why ma'am started this initiative, the prelims plus mains initiative along with the your classes also. It's a very good initiative, right? And whenever and every day I'm giving the questions also. So whatever questions I'm giving, you have to write the answer, and that you have to evaluate by the ma'am, right? And if ma'am is busy, if ma'am is not available, then just bring to me. So I will also evaluate your copies, no issues. First approach the ma'am. So ma'am will evaluate. If ma'am is having some work or if ma'am is a little bit busy, then you can come to me also. I will also evaluate your papers, right? Got the point? Okay. Next one is sixth significance. Sixth significance. Write down rainfall. So this is the water body. What's the water body? So here the winds carries the moisture from the water body, and this winds rises up, and it leads to formation of clouds. It leads to formation of clouds, and clouds, it causes the rainfall. And this area, the wind moving area, it receives more rainfall. That's why there will be more greenery on this side. And this side is known as a windward side. Windward side meaning wind moving side. It is a windward side, right? Wind moving side. And which wind is moving here? The moist wind. Moist wind will travel on this side. And when the wind forms or air forms the clouds, the winds becomes dry, and the dry winds will travel on another side of the mountain, and the another side receive less rainfall because of dry winds. The dry winds will travel on another side, and this side receives less rainfall, and it is known as a leeward side. Just listen. It is known as a leeward side, or it is known as a rain shadow zone. It is known as a rain shadow zone, and rain shadow zone receives less rainfall. and windward side receives more rainfall, right? And that's why there will be more biodiversity on this region and lesser biodiversity on leeward side or rain shadow zone. If you compare here, just listen carefully. So if you compare the Himalaya, Indian mountains, just 1 minute. Okay. So we are having here Western Ghats. Western Ghats. This is the western side of Western Ghats, and this is the leeward side of Western Ghats. Leeward side. So because when the winds carries the moisture from Arabian Sea, first it gives the rainfall on this side, and when these winds comes this side, they gives less rainfall. Again the winds gives more rainfall, and this side less rainfall. Wind gives more rainfall on the western side, and on the eastern side less rainfall, because eastern side of Western Ghats is the leeward side and western side is the windward side, and windward side always receives heavy rainfall. The best example, I will give an example. So here Mumbai and Pune. So Mumbai and Pune, they are in the same state, Maharashtra, right? And they are very close also, almost 120 kilometers apart, Pune and Mumbai. And here Pune located on the leeward side, and Mumbai located in the windward side. 1 minute. Mumbai located on the windward side. So here Mumbai receives more than 250 centimeter rainfall. Pune receives just 65 centimeter rainfall. I am talking annual average rainfall. So annual average rainfall of Pune is just 65 centimeter rainfall, and annual average rainfall of Mumbai so is 250 centimeter rainfall. And here again there are two important places. One is Mangaluru and second one is Bengaluru, right? Mangaluru and Bengaluru. So when you compare these two places, Bengaluru and Mangaluru, so Bengaluru receives just 85 centimeter rainfall, but here Mangaluru receives more than 250 centimeter rainfall, because Mangaluru is on the windward side, Bengaluru is on the leeward side, Pune is on the leeward side, Bengaluru is on the Mumbai is on the windward side. Here windward side receives more rainfall. And if you get the question, which side of Western Ghats having more biodiversity? Now you can easily answer the question. Which side having more biodiversity? Western side. Why? It receiving more rainfall. More rainfall meaning more living organisms. And which side of Western Ghats having lesser biodiversity? Eastern side. And similarly, please remember, here Himalayas, the winds that crosses, just listen, these winds will reflect back. And even, so we are having here Aravalli mountains, and the eastern side of Aravalli mountains receives heavy rainfall. Listen, this is the windward side and this is the leeward side, and the leeward side having the desert, that is the Thar desert. So Thar desert located here, Thar desert, because it's a leeward side for the winds, and the eastern side is the windward side, right? Windward side. This side receives the heavy rainfall of the Aravalli mountains, and when the winds travels and they reflects back from the Himalayas, and it helps India to get more rainfall. So mountains helps in bringing the rainfall, and such rainfall we call orographic rainfall. Remember, so mountains help to bring the orographic. What is the meaning of oro? Oro meaning mountain, graphic meaning area. So rainfall that occurs in the mountain areas we call orographic rainfall, right? So here mountains, if you get the question, when you compare Gangetic Plain and Himalayas, the rainfall in Himalayas we call orographic, and the rainfall in Gangetic Plain we call convectional rainfall. Convectional rainfall meaning the water evaporates vertically and it condenses, leads to formation of clouds, and the rainfall occurs in the plain areas we call convectional rainfall. And orographic meaning the winds travels along the mountains and they help to formation of clouds, and that leads to rainfall we call orographic rainfall. Suppose here if suppose just listen, if the evaporation occurs from here and it directly leads to formation of clouds, and if the rainfall occurs in this region, so this is the convectional rainfall, please remember, it is the convectional rainfall, but it is the rainfall occurring because of the mountain, that's why we call orographic rainfall. And the significance of mountain is they helps in bringing the orographic rainfall. You got this point? Okay, write down orographic rainfall. Orographic rainfall, write down. Oro meaning mountains, and graphic meaning areas. Oro meaning mountains and graphic meaning mountains and graphic meaning areas. Full stop. Rainfall that occurs in mountain areas. Rainfall that occurs in mountain areas is known as orographic rainfall. Rainfall that occurs in mountain areas is known as orographic rainfall. Full stop. Mountains plays a significant role. Mountains plays a significant role in bringing. Mountains plays a significant role in bringing. Mountains plays a significant role in bringing orographic rainfall. Mountains plays a significant role in bringing orographic rainfall. Full stop. Therefore, mountains generally consist more biodiversity. Therefore, generally, mountains consist more biodiversity. Mountains generally consist more biodiversity. Example: Western Ghats, mountains, Himalayan mountains, Western Ghats mountains, Himalayan mountains, etc. Full stop. One more point in the mountains only, in the rainfall only. One more point write down. Himalayas prevents southwest monsoon winds. Himalayas prevents southwest monsoon winds and helps India to get more rainfall. Helps India to get more rainfall, right? More rainfall, very important point. So here Himalayas prevents the southwest monsoon winds and helps India to get more rainfall. So this is the sixth significance of mountains. Now seventh significance, write down. Seventh one, medicinal plants. Okay, listen. Because in last 4 to 5 decades, because of the technology and innovation, we are having different types of drugs and different types of medicine for all kinds of diseases and the health issues. But earlier, for all types of diseases and health issues, the people were having the medicinal plant, like that Ayurvedic we call, Ayurvedic. They used to go for the forest and they will bring some medicine. Even for if the snake bites also, they are having some Ayurvedic, some medicine, right? For everything they are having. And even today also we'll use that turmeric or aloe vera, right? And even tulsi we call for cold and cough. That is very good, right? So because all these are the medicinal plants, and these medicinal plants largely available in the mountain areas, right? There is some examples like ashwagandha, right? Just this one, ashwagandha and sweet flag, sweet flag, right? These are very important medicinal plants. Along with this, like tulsi, aloe vera, they are also available. But these are the important medicinal plants that are available in the mountains in general, and Himalayas in particular, right? Just write down medicinal plants. Write down mountains in general, and Himalayas in particular. Mountains in general and Himalayas in particular, having various medicinal plants, are 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 having various medicinal plants, right? Full stop. Example: ashwagandha, sweet flag, etc. Sweet flag, etc. Or you can write even this also: tulsi, aloe vera, right? Medicinal plants. This is the seventh significance. Now eighth significance. Write down life to tribal people. Okay, listen. So as per 2011 population census, we are having the data as per 2011. So 2021 population census was not conducted because of COVID-19 pandemic. So 2021 population census was not conducted, and we are having the data as per 2011 population census. And in your upcoming exams, if you get the question from population census, you will get the question from 2011 data only, not from 2021, right? Okay, listen. So your 2021 population census, as per 2011 population census, total population of India, is around 121 crores or 1210 millions. 1210 millions or 121 crores, right? And out of this total population of 1210 million, around 104 million is the tribal population. So tribal population 104 million, or so 10.4 crores. Listen. So out of here 1210 million, 104 million, and out of 121 crores, it's a 10.4 crores. The total tribal population is 10.4 crores or 104 million. And this 104 million, it will be 8.6% of total population. If you take total population as 100%, in that 100%, the tribal population will be 8.6%. So your 100% meaning 121 crores. 8.6 meaning 10.4 crores. You got this point? And among this total population, there are 705 tribal groups. So 705 tribal groups. So if you get the question how many tribal groups are in India, then answer is 705 tribal groups. And out of 705 tribal groups, the most backward tribes are named as PVTG. So PVTG meaning particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Vulnerable meaning those are having more problems, economic problems, social problems, so and even cultural problems. So they are facing more problems, and those are more backward are known as PVTG, particularly vulnerable tribal groups. And out of total tribal groups in India, so presently we are having 75 PVTG, right? And most of the PVTG are in the mountains only. That's why mountain provides the life to the tribal people. Like that, you should know some background and you have to interlink. Then only you get the question marks. Otherwise, just if you write So mountain provides life to tribal people, khatam, you will not get the marks. You have to give the example, some tribal example, right? So India, most of the tribal people are living in the mountain areas. For example, Naga tribes in Naga Hills of Northeast India, and Garo tribes, Garo, Khasi, Jaintia tribes, and Jaintia tribes are located in the living in these hills, Garo Hills, Khasi Hills, and Jaintia Hills, right? So similarly, Chenchus are living in the eastern Ghats. Chenchus tribes are living in the eastern Ghats, and Gonds, Bhils are living in the western Ghats. Even Jenu Kurba also, Jenu Kurba and Soligaru, all they are living in the western Ghats, right? So here tribal people mostly they lives in the forest areas or mountain areas. That's why mountains are very significant, because they provide life to the tribal people, right? Just add one line, write down. Most of the tribal people in India and world, generally resides or resides in, most tribal people in India and world generally lives or resides in mountains and forests. Mountains and forests. Full stop. As per 2011 population census, 2011 population census, total tribal population in India, as per 2011 population census, total tribal population in India, right? Total population of India, tribal population of India, as per 2011 population census, total tribal population of India is 104 million, 104 million, or 10.4 crores, 10.4 crores, full stop. It constitutes or accounts it constitutes or accounts 8.6 percentage of total population of India, right? Total population of India, full stop. So like that you have to interlink, then only you will get the marks. Otherwise, just if you write mountains provides life to tribal people, it is correct, but still if you give the examples, if you interlink like this, you will get very, very good marks, right? Okay. Here one person asking the question, Sham MJS. So complete this series of geography online, please. Brother, everything free of cost is also very dangerous, right? So because that is one of the habit of our India, everything they want free of cost, right? But they never think how much effort the others are putting, right? So we are listening online classes free of cost or offline class free of cost. Sometimes it is not good for your ethics also. Just whenever someone is providing free of cost, just you have to think behind that also, right? So because you know very well the way we are having the infrastructure here, the way we are investing here for everything, whether it comes to panel or AC or this camera or everything, right? Every day takes lot of investment, and the people those are running this institute, they are not the rich people, they are not like Adani, Ambani, they are also came from very middle class, and they are just as a part of their social work they are doing this one. And if you support them, like whatever we are having the strength, if you support them, definitely they will further give they will further deliver a good quality education, right? And I think today or tomorrow will be the last class for online, and from tomorrow they will stop the online classes, right? So only the offline free classes will be given for 30 demos as ma'am promised. but from tomorrow they will stop the live telecasting, right? So many might be thinking he will get free of cost everything, but they very clearly they have mentioned in the beginning only 10 classes, only 7 classes online, 7 or 10 classes online, 10 online, 10 online free classes and 30 days offline free classes, right? And those want to take this series free of cost, you have to attend offline classes or you have to register to the program. So because ultimately, just listen carefully. So if you take only geography free of cost, so they can provide it, but what about other subjects? Because to clear the exam you need all the subjects, right? And it's my request, there is no doubt, so we'll provide the quality education, and you might have observed the quality in my previous classes, 10 classes, right? The same quality will be there in for all the subjects. And from tomorrow, mostly from tomorrow, ma'am or sir will stop the online classes, right? And online students, if you want to continue with the classes, you have to register to the program, right? It's a very basic fees, right? And that fees we are not taking to become Adani Ambani, right? We are taking the fees, again that fees we are taking so that we can provide the quality education in future, or for you people only, for your upcoming classes. If you need the quality education, we have to get something, because we are not getting funding from any NGOs or any government, right? So here we are struggling, and we are also working just to give something to the society, right? So we are getting something from the society as a we have to give something back to the society, right? As a part of that, they are running this program, and if you take the admissions and if you register to the program, definitely Rathod IAS Academy is ready, and they are always committed to provide a good quality coaching, right? Okay, come to the point. And from tomorrow, mostly they will stop online classes, and before that, you please talk to the management, Usha ma'am, and so please make sure that you are getting registered into the program, right? Okay. So next point, so this is 8th point, now ninth significance, write down, natural defense system, natural defense system. Natural defense system, right? Okay. So we are having here high altitude mountains, and we are having here plain area, right? This is the plain area, and this is the high altitude mountain. High altitude, what is the meaning of altitude? Height, high altitude, steep sloped mountains. So high altitude steep sloped mountains. So here Himalayas, high altitude steep sloped mountains, and it is plain area, right? Plain region. The desert is mostly, it's a plain region. And if you see the rulers, most of the rulers or foreign rulers, they entered India from this route, from this northwestern part of India. So because it's a plain region, and because of the steep slope and because of the high altitude, the rulers could not enter from this region. And from ancient time also, Himalayas acting as a natural defense system for India. Even China also can't easily attack India because they are having Himalayas. But here they can attack from this side because we are having the plain region. So in the ancient time also, the most of the rulers attacked India from this region only. And this region also, today also this area, this Himalayas, and even Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, Northeastern states, they acting as a natural defense system for India. Very important point. Just add one line. Natural defense system. Write down. Mountains like Himalayas, Western Ghats, Himalayas, Western Ghats are acting as a natural defense system, are acting as a natural defense system since ancient time. Since ancient time. Since ancient time. Since ancient time, right? Since ancient time. Full stop. Next point, point number 10. Tourism. Destinations. Tourism destinations. Tourism destinations. Then tourism destinations. Okay, listen. So tourism destinations. Here Himalayas. Himalayas are having very beautiful places. First one is very cool. Just listen. Very cool weather. Himalayas are having very cool weather. Himalayas are having the scenic beauty. Scenic beauty, right? And most greenery, right? And different types of flora and fauna. So because of these factors, Himalayas, Western Ghats or any mountains, they are the best tourism destinations or best tourism hotspots. If you take like your Ooty, Kodaikanal also in Tamil Nadu, Ooty, Kodaikanal, they are also best tourism places. Or Anantagiri Hills, again best tourism places, right? Because of cool weather, scenic beauty. You might have heard about Araku Valley also, very famous tourism place, Araku Valley, because of cool weather, scenic beauty, and greenery and flora and fauna, right? I don't want line. Due to cool weather, comma, scenic beauty, comma, greenery, and rich biodiversity, of flora and fauna, rich biodiversity of flora and fauna. Mountains are best tourism destinations or hotspots. Mountains are best tourism destinations or hotspots. Right? So here, for example, the places like Simla, Kullu Manali, Jammu, Kashmir, Srinagar, Nainital in Uttarakhand, Simla in Himachal Pradesh, Kullu Manali, Himachal Pradesh, right? And very famous places like Mahabaleshwar, Western Ghats, and even Trambakeshwar, and Ooty, Kodaikanal, in Tamil Nadu, and they are in Maharashtra, and very famous place Nandi Hills in Karnataka, Anantagiri Hills in Andhra Pradesh, Araku Valley region, so like that you have to give the example, and without example you will not get the marks. So examples will help you to get good marks, but there is no need to give this much examples. Just write to any two example. I am giving this example so that you can remember at least two, right? So this is about the very important topic, significances of the mountains, and with this we have completed mountains also. First we have discussed the meaning of the mountain, types of the mountain and significance of the mountain. So yesterday we have discussed about the meaning of the plain, types of plain and significance of the plain, right? Two important topics are completed. First start on the questions, mains questions on these mountains, mains questions, mains questions. Right, question number 1, define the term orogenesis, orogeny or orogenesis, orogeny or orogenesis. Orogenesis, question mark. Discuss the different types of mountains. Discuss different types of mountains. 250 words. 15 marks. 250 words, 15 marks. Very simple question. First you have to define what is orogeny or orogenesis, then you have to explain 5 types of mountain. Which are the 5 types of mountains? Fold mountain, block mountain, volcanic mountain, dome mountain, residual mountain. So what you have to do here, first you have to define what is the mountain, and then you have to explain how they forms, then you have to draw the diagram, and then I have to give you examples. That is a criteria for all the 5 mountains, right? Okay. Now question number 2. Question number 2. Discuss the significances of mountains. Discuss the significance of mountains with suitable examples. So discuss the significances of mountains with suitable examples, and they can ask the question directly. Just listen. Discuss the significances of Himalayas. So what is the difference between question number 2 and question number 3? Difference between 2 and 3. Okay. Listen, for example, whatever significance I have given, that 10 significances are applicable to both the questions. That is the same point you have to cover, but the only difference is, listen, for example, point number 1. What is the first significance? Source of rivers. Listen first. Source of rivers. We have discussed the first significance of the mountains. And what you will write here in the question number 2, most of the rivers originates from mountains of the world, because mountains meaning they are talking in a broader way. So here mountains meaning you should not discuss only Indian mountains. Here mountains meaning from the entire world. So most of the rivers in the world originates from the mountains, and then you can give the example of any river in the world. Mississippi, Missouri River of North America, Amazon River of South America, Nile River of Africa, or Yangtze River of Asia, or Ganga River of India, or Godavari River of South Karnataka, South India. You can give any example in question number 2. But in question number 3, you should be restricted, or it should be confined only to the India, right? You should not give the example beyond Himalaya. They are very categorically asking Himalaya, significance of Himalaya. And when you discuss point number 1, source of the rivers, in India, most of the rivers originates from Himalayas. Even you should not give the example of Godavari Krishna also here. So if you give the example of Godavari Krishna, that shows lack of clarity. Because they are asking Himalayas, then why should you are writing from Western Ghats? Okay, my point. If you give the example of Godavari Krishna, that shows you are having lack of clarity. You don't have the clarity about the topic. And if suppose many rivers originate from rivers, and if you give example Ganga and Indus, Brahmaputra, that is correct. And in this question, in the question number 3, if you mention that many rivers originate from mountain, that is correct. And if you give example Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Tungabhadra, 0 marks. Because they are asking Himalaya and you are giving the example of Western Ghats. You got the point? So that is answer writing. Here answer writing meaning you have to understand the basic demand or basic requirement of the question. And if you are not able to understand the basic demand or requirement, and if you write what you know, you will not get the marks what you want. Right, my point? So you will not get the marks what you want if you write what you know. So we have to write what the question is demanding, or what the question is, what the question requires. We should not write what we know. We should write what the question is demanding. You got this point? Very important. So in question number 2, you have to write the answer for both the questions, question number 3 and question number 2 also. In question number 2, you can give the example of any example throughout the world. But in the question number 2, you have to give the example of only Himalayas. And instead of Himalayas, if you get the question, discuss the significance of Western Ghats, then you have to discuss the significance of only Western Ghats, even not the Himalayas also. So that is the answer writing. We have to understand these basics. And many students don't know this one. So everyone starts reading. Only reading will make you to clear the prelims, but you will not clear the mains only by reading. And reading plus writing will make you to clear the mains. You got the point? And here clearing mains is important, not the prelims. Because if you clear the prelims, if you get out of out also, that marks will be not added in the final list. Your final rank will be prepared only based on the marks of mains and the interview marks, and that's why here you have to perform well in the mains, not in the prelims. Yes, anyway you have to clear the prelims, but if you get qualifying marks also, that's okay. There is no need to become topper in the prelims. You have to become topper in the exam, UPSC exam, that is in mains and interview. You have to become topper in the interview and the mains, not in the prelims. It's not required also. The best example, I will give an example. You might have heard about Tina Dhabi. She got just 0.6 mark more than the prelims cutoff marks. Just 0.6 mark more. I think that year in 2015, the cutoff marks was 93.6 something and she got 94.2 something. So just 0.6 or 0.6 something more than the cutoff marks. Not even 1 marks also. She got just 0.6 marks more than the cutoff marks. But she got more marks in the mains and even less marks in the interview. She got very good marks in the mains, and that's why she became the topper. The second topper in that 2015, second topper got more marks in interview than the Tina Dhabi. But Tina Dhabi got very good marks in the mains, and that's why she became the topper. So that's why I'm telling, ultimately mains is very important here. So because prelims doesn't matter, and many people, listen carefully. So many people, those got even 140 plus also in prelims, they failed in the mains. So those got 140 plus in the prelims, they failed in the mains. And the girl who got 93 points, the girl who got 94 point something marks in the prelims, she was the topper in 2015. So because she was knowing the strategy is more focus or more emphasis should be given for the mains, not for the PT. That's why we are started the mains writing from the beginning only. So because we know the main requirement of this exam. And in other most of the coachings, they will not teach these skills of preparation. They will focus only on completion of the syllabus, And completion of the syllabus will not make you IAS. You can complete the syllabus by sitting in the room and by watching the YouTube videos also. So you can complete the syllabus, but you are coming here to learn something, right? And we are here to give something, right? You got the point? Okay, come to the next point. So here, these are the mains questions. And please practice are you writing the answers, right? Whatever question I am giving, and you have to make this separate notebook, and that separate notebook should be the UPSC model answer book. UPSC, there are a lot of you will get the same UPSC model answer booklets. You please purchase that booklet and write the answer in that only, so that you will come to know how many words you are writing in that particular page. So because many students they start counting how many pages they are writing, right? And how many words they are writing in a single page. If you write the answer in the UPSC, that model answers, so we'll come to know how many words you are writing in a single page and what is the margin. how, and they will, and where we have to write, where we should not write, right? Because in the UPSC answer sheets, so they very clear they will mention. So these are the margins, and you should not write beyond the margins. So your question will be printed here. The question will be printed, and you should not write anything in these margins. Here you should not write. You have to write only here, only in the given that free space. And that's why here you please write the answers in the UPSC model answers. You will understand, and you will become perfect like in writing the UPSC mains answers, right? So that's why please purchase this book, answer writing book, and please write the answer in that booklet itself. Don't write in A4 sheets or that other notebooks, right? And you have to write the answer in unruled notebooks, not in the ruled notebooks. If you write in the ruled notebook, so here you will write the in a straight line, but in the exam you will become panic and you will be not able to write the answer in a straight line. And that's why you have to practice in the unruled notebooks only. You should not practice in the ruled notebook. Even in notes also you have to write in the unruled notebook only. You should not make the notes even in the ruled, because what happens if you are habituated to ruled notebooks, no? So in exam definitely it will affect badly. So that's why please write the notes also in the complete unruled. But do you know unruled? Plain. There should be no any line. There should be no any well, you can say no lines, because if you write in the if you practice in a ruled notebook, so your writing will go straight. But in the exam, just listen. In exam, in the beginning you will write in a straight line, and when you become panic, then you start writing vertical also, like that. So that to avoid that one, so the notes also you have to made in a plain paper, right? Okay, next one. So this is about the mountains, and with this we have come to second important landform. We are discussing the landforms. So first one we have discussed about plains, second one we have discussed about the mountains, and the third landform, which is the third major landform? Plateaus. Put the heading plateaus. Plateaus. Third landform is plateau. Okay, take this diagram. So this is an elevated landmass. This is the elevated landmass. So a steep or gentle slope, and flat top. These keywords are very important, and UPSC evaluator will search for such keywords, and if you mention such keywords, you will get very good marks. And you should not forget to mention the figure name. Figure name here, plateau. Or okay, listen. So your plateau meaning it's an elevated landmass with steep or gentle slope and with flat top. Flat top is known as plateau. Suppose, listen, a elevated landmass which having sharp top, then we call mountain or hill. And if it having height more than 900 meters, we call mountain. If it having height less than 900 meters, we call hills. So if it having the sharp top, and if it having the flat top, listen, if it having the flat top, then we call plateau, right? We call plateau. You got this point? Plateau meaning elevated landmass with steep or gentle slope with flat top. Flat top is known as plateau. Right at this point. An elevated landmass with steep or gentle slope, and with flat top is known as plateau. With flat top is known as plateau, right? Full stop. Okay, listen. So when we see from outside, it looks like a table, and that's it is also known as a tableland. Plateaus are also known as a tableland because they appears like a table. And in exam, So they will mention, consider the following statement about tableland. You should not get confused. The question is about plateau only. So consider the statement about plateau or consider the statement about tableland. Both are same. Just write down. Plateaus appears like table. Plateaus appears like table. Therefore, they are also known as a tableland. Plateaus appears like table. Plateaus appears like table. Therefore, they are also known as tableland. Tableland, right? Tableland. Listen, one more important point. Listen, a low-heighted flat land is known as plain. Low-heighted flatland we call plain. Just listen carefully. So low-heighted flatland we call plain. And suppose, just listen, it is also plain only. This is also plain. But this plain or this flat land located at a high altitude. This is low altitude. What is the meaning of low altitude? Lesser height. And it located at a high altitude, right? It located at a high altitude. Listen carefully. So plain, a low-heighted flatland we call plain, and this is also flatland only, but look at a more altitude or more height, and that's why plateaus are also known as. Listen first. Plateaus are also known as high plains. High plains means plains at high altitude. We call high plains. So if you get the question, consider the following statements about high plains. So again, you should not consider these are the plains, they are the plateaus only. High plains meaning plateau only. Tableland, plateau only, right? Just write this one line. As plateau consists flatlands, at their top, flatland at their top, plateaus are also known as plateau consists flatland at their top, they are also known as high plains. They are also known as high plains. Okay, there are the three different names here: high plains, tableland, and plateau. All are same, right? You should not get confused. Next point. Okay, listen. Now put the heading first. Types of plateaus. Types of plateaus. Write down one line. Based on process of formation. And based on process of formation, just remove and, comma, location and structure. So based on process of formation, comma, location and structure. Plateaus are broadly classified into 6 categories. They are Piedmont Plateau. Second one, Intermontane Plateau. Third one, Volcanic Plateau. And fourth one, Continental Plateau. And fifth one, Dissected Plateau. and sixth one residual plateau. These are the 6 types of plateau: Piedmont Plateau, Intermontane Plateau, Volcanic Plateau, Continental Plateau, Dissected Plateau, and Residual Plateau, or it is also known as Relict Plateau. Relict Plateau, Relict or Residual Plateau. Then let's put the heading Piedmont Plateau. Piedmont Plateau. Okay, listen. So here Piedmont meaning at the foot of the mountain. At the foot of the mountain. At the foot, very important point, at the foot of the mountain, or you can say at the bottom of the mountain also, at the foot or at the bottom of the mountain. Suppose this is the mountain, okay, at the foot of the mountain. This is located at the foot of the mountain. Okay. And it consists plain or other side or even water body. Plain or water body. So both can't exist at a time. So it will be plain or water body on other side. Right? It will be plain or water body. Or water body on other side, and one side it consists the mountain, and between mountain and plain or between mountain and water body this plateau will found. Such plateaus we call Piedmont Plateau. Right, Piedmont Plateau. Listen, so here earlier it might be large plateau, but due to erosion, when the rainfall occurs, that rainwater flows with maximum speed, and that might have eroded this part, and because of the erosion, so this small part is remaining, right? And such plateaus we call Piedmont Plateau based on the location. If it locates at the lower part of mountain, we call Piedmont Plateau. Yes, just write down one line. Write down. Have you taken this meaning? Piedmont meaning at the foot of the mountain. Write down. If a plateau locates or exists, if a plateau locates or exists at the lower part or bottom of the mountain, then it is known as Piedmont. Plateau. That is known as Piedmont Plateau. Right? Full stop. It consists mountain on one side. And plain or water body on another side. It consists mountain on one side and plain or water body on another side. Right? Full stop. Example. First example, Malwa Plateau. Malwa Plateau. Okay. So Aravalli Mountain, Malwa Plateau, and this is the Malwa Plain, Mewar Plain, mountain, Piedmont Plateau, and it is Mewar Plain. This is a Malwa Plateau. This is the best example for Piedmont Plateau, right? It's one example. Second example, Patagonia, Plateau. So Patagonia Plateau, it having mountain on one side and water body on another side. So this is Atlantic Ocean, and it's a Patagonia Plateau. This plateau located in this region, right? This is Atlantic Ocean, and we are having Argentina mountains on this side, right? So Argentina mountains, and Atlantic Ocean on the right side. So these are the two best examples for Piedmont Plateau or Malwa Plateau and Patagonia Plateau. Next one. Second type of plateau is Intermontane Plateau. Intermontane Plateau. So Intermontane, what is the meaning of Intermontane? Inter meaning between, montane meaning mountains, right? Plateau. So Intermontane, right? Intermontane means plateau that locates between the mountains, right? For example, it is one mountain, it is the plateau, another mountain. If mountains on both the sides, if mountains on, okay, listen, mountain, it is plateau, it is another mountain. If this plateau locates between two mountains, then we call two, or it can be more than two mountains also, but it should be between the mountains. That is the meaning of Intermontane. Intermontane meaning between the mountains. Just listen. It is also known as Intermontane. So Intermontane, this is a plateau, and it can consist mountain on the north and south, or the plateau can consist the mountain on west and east, right? So such plateaus we call the Intermontane. Intermontane meaning between the mountain. Just write down. Plateaus that found between the mountains. Plateaus that found between the mountains are known as are known as Intermontane Plateaus. Plateaus that locates between the mountains are known as Intermontane Plateaus. Intermontane Plateaus, right? Okay, example. First example, Tibetan Plateau. Tibetan Plateau. Okay, take this diagram. So, Tibetan Plateau located between Kunlun Shan mountain in the north and Indian Himalayas in the south. In the south, and in between we are having the Tibetan Plateau. Tibetan Plateau, and it is the largest plateau in the world, or highest plateau in the world. It is the highest plateau in the world. Highest plateau in the world. It is also known as roof of the world. It is also known as roof of the world. Highest plateau in the world or roof of the world. Roof of the world. Very important points. Highest plateau in the world or roof of the world. And second example, Iranian Plateau. Iranian Plateau, and Iranian Plateau located between Iranian Plateau. It located between Zagros. First is El Burj mountains in the north and Zagros mountains in the south. Right? It is the plateau of Iran or Iranian Plateau. And those are having atlas, please open the Asia map and locate these two. Two best examples for Intermontane Plateau. So diagrams always speaks louder than the words, right? There. Okay, Iranian Plateau and Tibetan Plateau, Plateau of Tibet, Kunlun Shan mountains in the north and Indian Himalayas in the south, right? Okay. So Iranian Plateau and Tibetan Plateau, they are the two best examples for Intermontane. The meaning itself says inter meaning between, montane meaning mountains. So plateau that located between the mountains we call Intermontane, right? Okay, next third one. Volcanic Plateaus. Volcanic Plateaus. And already we have discussed the volcanic mountains. What is the meaning of volcanic mountains? Mountain those formed by volcanic activities, we call volcanic mountains. In volcanic mountains, based on the materials of formation, there are two types. Which are the two types of volcanic mountains? Yes, very good. Lava mountain and pyroclastic. What is the meaning of lava mountain? Formed due to solidification of lava. What is pyroclastic mountain? Forms due to minerals, rocks and ash. Very good. So similarly, same to same concept, but only structure will be different. The process mechanism is entirely same here, but only structure different. What is structure here? Flat top, only the top. In mountains there will be a sharp top, and in plateau will be a flat top. That is the only difference, right? Just add this one point. Plateaus that forms due to volcanic activities. Plateaus that forms due to volcanic activities are known as volcanic plateaus. Volcanic plateaus. Full stop. Based on materials of formation, based on volcanic materials of formation, there are two types of plateaus, volcanic plateaus. Based on volcanic materials of formation. There are two types of volcanic plateaus. So first one, where magma releases above the earth, that we call lava, and if lava solidifies, okay, it is lava plateau. Here the major material is lava. So magma releases on the surface and leads to formation of flat top. If it is a sharp top, we call lava mountain, but the top is here flat. That's why we call lava plateau. Here also almost same concept. So ash, rocks, minerals. Rocks mean not big rocks, the debris of rocks. What is the meaning of debris? Pieces, debris of rocks or debris of minerals. Rock debris or mineral debris. Okay, this we call pyroclastic plateau. Same concept, just only in the place of sharp, you have to mention it's a flat. Just write one line below a lava plateau. An elevated landmass with flat top, an elevated landmass with flat top formed by solidification of lava, is known as lava plateau. And best example, Deccan Plateau of India. Deccan Plateau of India, right? Full stop. Next one is pyroclastic plateau. That one below pyroclastic plateau. An elevated landmass with flat top an elevated landmass with flat top, an elevated landmass with flat top formed an elevated landmass with flat top formed due to deposition or accumulation of solid volcanic materials like ash, mineral debris and rock debris etc. and rock debris is known as pyroclastic plateau. Right? Okay. So these are the two types of volcanic plateaus, and for this also example is same, Deccan Plateau. So Deccan Plateau is example of both pyroclastic plateau as well as lava plateau. It's very large plateau, right? This South India almost we call the plateau region, and in most of the places it is lava plateau and even pyroclastic also. This entire South India, it's a Deccan Plateau and even the pyroclastic plateau also. Okay. So this is about volcanic plateau. Now fourth one, write down, continental plateau. Fourth one is continental plateau. Continental plateau. What is the meaning of dome mountain? It is formed, means lava will not erupt on the earth's surface. What happens here? Just it exerts the force from the bottom and folds up. That we call dome mountain. What is the difference between lava mountain and dome mountain? Yes, in lava mountain the magma comes up, but in the dome mountain the magma will not come, just the land folds up. That we call dome mountain. Same concept here. Continental plateau meaning lava plateau meaning lava comes up. That we call the lava plateau. But in case of the continental plateau, that lava will not come out. Only the land folds up, and the land will have the flat top at its surface. That we call the continental plateau. Right? Just here. Suppose this is the soft land, right? And it is the hard land, and this hard land, it's a soft land. From the soft land, the magma comes up and forms the flat land, a flat top, that we call the lava plateau. But in this case the magma will not come out, just it folds or it lifts the earth surface. And such plateaus we call continental plateau. What is point? Continental plateau. Write on this one. Magma, and this is lava, and it's a figure of lava plateau. But in exam you have to draw only one plateau. Just I am giving two plateaus for just your easy understanding. In exam don't draw both the plateaus, right? And don't confuse that person. Already that person who is checking your paper will be almost 50 plus years old. Don't make him more tense again. Come here. Okay. Figure continental plateau. Okay, write down. In hard igneous rocks are materials. Existing areas. In hard igneous rocks or materials existing areas. In hard igneous rocks or materials existing areas. Magma magma will not release on the earth surface. Magma will not release on the earth surface. Magma will not release on the earth surface. Rather it causes an upliftment of earth's surface. Rather it causes an upliftment of earth surface. Full stop. If earth surface is flat, if earth's surface remains flat, then it is known as continental plateau. If earth's surface remains flat, then it is known as continental plateau. If the earth surface remains flat, then it is known as continental plateau, right? Full stop. It's a continental plateau. So this is the fourth one, continental plateau. So first one is Piedmont Plateau, second Intermontane, third Volcanic, and fourth one is continental. Now fifth one is Dissected Plateau, right? Let's write down Dissected Plateau. What is the meaning of dissected? Dissected meaning divided. Right? Divided. Listen, if suppose there is a single large plateau, this is a single large plateau. It's a single large plateau, and these plateaus are subjected by weathering and erosion, by different factors. If suppose here, if a crack occurs and that crack leads to landslides or earthquake, it leads to landslide or earthquake, or even if here the mining activity like anthropogenic activities like mining activities, agricultural activities, or any canal construction, if any activities it causes the splitting of the plateau, then that divided plateau we call dissected. For example, just listen, this is single plateau, and that single plateau it converts into two or more than two plateaus. Suppose this is single plateau, here division, then one more plateau, this is division, like that. If the plateau converts into two or more than two, then we call dissected. Earlier it was a single plateau, but now due to severe landslides or earthquakes or even the mining activities, it breaks the plateau. The single plateau will split into two or more than two plateaus, that we call dissected plateau. You got this point? So two or more than two, that we call dissected plateau. For example, just 1 minute. Listen, so it's the best diagram for dissected plateau. This is one plateau that is dissected, divided. Again, now it is separating. Again, in future it can separate here because erosion is happening, and when the heavy rainfall occurs due to erosion, further it will separate, right? And this also separated. All you call divided or dissected. So divided plateau meaning single plateau will divide into many plateaus. We call dissected plateau. Just add this point. So this is the original plateau, single plateau, and it is dissected plateau, and it occurs by natural and anthropogenic, man-made or human factors. Right? Just add one line. due to natural and anthropogenic factors, due to natural and anthropogenic factors, a single large due to natural and anthropogenic factors, a single large plateau splits or divides into two or more than two plateaus is known as a divided plateau, right? Okay, so this is about dissected plateau or divided plateau, both are same, dissected plateau. And here example, plateaus of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Such plateau largely found in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Dissected plateaus or divided plateaus. Example, plateaus of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, right? So last one plateau, last one. So total we are having 6 types of plateaus. This is the 5th one. Now next 6th one is residual or relic plateau. What is the meaning of residual mountain? The leftover part of original mountain we call residual mountain. So similarly here also, so when the plateaus will undergo weathering and erosion, their size decreases, and after many years the remaining central part of the original plateau we call the residual or relic plateau, right? Just write down the 6th one, residual or relict plateau, residual or relict. So residual meaning leftover or remaining, right? Okay. This is the original plateau. Right, this original plateau undergoes weathering and erosion, and the leftover part this leftover part we call the residual, right? This is the removed or eroded part of original plateau, and it is left over or remaining part of original plateau, right? And it occurs by different agents, like it can be rainfall or winds and even anthropogenic factors, like mining, agriculture, right? Human settlements, road construction, dam construction, right? And tunnel construction. all these activities leads to decrease in size, right? And here it undergoes weathering and erosion, weathering and erosion. After weathering and erosion, it leads to formation of residual plateau, right? And here the original plateau, it can be Piedmont Plateau. If Piedmont Plateau undergoes weathering and erosion, it leads to formation of residual Piedmont Plateau. And if the original plateau is Intermontane Plateau, then after weathering and erosion, it leads to formation of residual Intermontane Plateau. If the original plateau is Volcanic Plateau, then after weathering and erosion, it leads to formation of residual Volcanic Plateau, right? And if the original plateau is Continental Plateau, then after weathering and erosion, it leads to formation of residual Continental Plateau. And last one is dissected. If dissected plateau undergoes weathering and erosion, so it becomes residual dissected plateau. Okay, so these are the 6 types of plateaus. Very important topic. 6 types of plateaus, right? So when the plateaus undergoes weathering, same like residual mountain only. When they undergoes weathering and erosion, that left over part, the remaining central part of the original plateau, we call the residual plateau, right? And such plateau largely found in the Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, right? Okay, so this is about today's class, types of plateau. So tomorrow we'll discuss about the significance of the plateau. That one topic is remaining, and then we'll start very important topic: earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis. So tomorrow we'll start earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanoes, right? At least tomorrow. Kamir, don't forget the atlas. Okay. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Dhanyavad. Right? Any doubts, online students? How is rainfall calculated in centimeters? Because there will be a hydrometer. They will keep the hydrometer in the continuous rainfall occurring areas, and there will be some marking on that hydrometer, right? So 10 centimeter, 20 centimeter, 30 centimeter, 40, 50, like that. There will be some centimeters. How much water fills in that hydrometer. So based on that they will measure, right? So again, it is not that much accurate method of measuring the how much water rainfall it takes place. But generally that hydrometer will be kept, right? And in almost in the protected areas, restricted areas, and how much rainfall or how much water will fill in that that hydrometer. So based on that reading will be taken, and that if the reading is around 30 centimeter, then we call the rainfall will be 30 centimeter, and if there is a water is up to 50 centimeter, then it is known as the 50 centimeter rainfall, like that, right? So this is about the calculation of the rainfall. They will not ask in the exam how the rainfall will be calculated. Don't worry, right? We are not doing PhD here on rainfall calculation, right? Just try to understand what is the type of rainfall and what causes the rainfall. That is important. Don't do the PhD on everything, Mr. Suresh. And that is also one of the problem in the students. They will start doing PhD in the single term, and they will not, and they will waste lot of time in the unnecessary things, right? So here they never ask how the rainfall is calculated, how the centimeter is calculated, because they are not doing PhD in the engineering, that hydro engineering, right, or irrigation engineering. Okay, so please remember, Rainfall meaning we'll discuss in upcoming classes in climatology. What is the rainfall, type of rainfall, what is precipitation, what are the types of precipitation, and what is sleet, what is a hailstone, and what is snowfall, what is rainfall, what is drizzle, and what is virga. They are the different types. That is, they will that will come in the exam. But they will not ask how the rainfall is calculated, right? Why the centimeter is only used. They never ask such questions, right? Okay. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Dhanyawad. So please wait. I think ma'am will take the class.
Wrote answers for yesterday's questions, 5 questions, everyone? Yes, right? So it's already 1:45. So sir didn't listen to me to conclude the class by 1:30. Okay, I will be sharing you the link by 3 o'clock, and there I will be taking online class of micro listing of topics, because it's already lunchtime now. Yeah, full hungry. Okay, so you can leave now. So I will be sharing you the link of live class, so attend the live class. So when? So by what time you will be reaching your home, Kamir and Hamid? It's 3. 3, okay? Everyone, 3 or 3:30? 3. So okay, so I will be sharing you. It's already 2, no, you have to reach your home. And you have to have your lunch. 4? Because they have to go to near zoo park. At 4, okay, students, everyone. So at 4, I will be sharing you link of micro listing of modern history. I will be completing today. And tomorrow again, you will be having class at 9 to 1:30. Okay, so I will be checking your answers tomorrow. Clear? Thank you so much, guys. How rainfall is calculated?